The Forsaken Hero. Volume 2. Chapter 4. Acquiring Information. It was skillfully done for our first time together, though apart from that there was nothing in particular other than going for 3 rounds. My impressions. I won't talk about much. However, as a brief comment. Shuri was amazing, I guess. She was considerably proactive, and the final round became a scramble for leadership. Though I won by betting my pride as a man. We went to Liedred's room and began talking about our plans for the future. The topic of discussion. Do we kill Samajima first? Or do we prioritize capturing the dungeon? According to the advice I received from the goddess, there seems to be 2 people who will join me. Then, capturing the dungeon's priority went up as it would overwhelmingly increase the success rate of getting revenge. So, we immediately came to a conclusion. We would prioritize capturing the dungeon. The problem was Samajima's henchmen. Assuming that we kill Kijima, what about Seijima? Right, Seijima Nanumi. She holds the healer position in Samajima's party and is nice to everyone. She is generally popular amongst the class's female students. Though she seldom became involved with me, she was also in the same classification as Hayase. I clearly remember her watching me being harshly bullied. I don't know why such beautiful girls fall in love with Samajima.
Nanami is, well, I don't want you to kill her.
Tamaki rose her hand up timidly and gave her opinion. I understand what you mean, but I also don't want to kill Seijima. However, unless we can make her powerless, Samajima's mana and stamina will endlessly be recovered. Otherwise our situation would get worse and worse. Victory would have to be decided by a one-hit kill. That doesn't mean that I want to indiscriminately murder a classmate though. I only want to kill those who deserve my revenge. I will not overstep that line. Tamaki took my silence for denial. It was easy to see that she was depressed. It's alright, Tamaki. At least, if Seijima isn't in love with Samajima, I'll stay my hand against her.
Hey. Daiichi, what did you say?
Shuri, who remembered my doubt, asked me to repeat my words once more. I said, if Seijima isn't in love with Samajima, I'll stay my hand against her.
That's it. Nanami doesn't feel anything in particular towards that man.
Really? Learning this fact surprised me. Seijima isn't in love with Samajima.
Yes. Though she's often misunderstood because of her attitude, she has goodwill towards everyone.
Huh? What about me?
Are we not good enough?
Tamaki evaded the question with a pleasant smile.
I'm sure. Nanami told me herself. She doesn't feel anything in particular towards Samajima.
Seriously?
Seriously. Here's the story. Nanami told me that there was someone she liked from before. I also heard that. But, it seems like she couldn't meet him.
Why?
That guy, it seems he moved to some distant location. However, recently, she found a way to meet with him. Yes. So in conclusion, Nanami is not in love with Samajima.
I didn't know that there was such a situation. Because the 2 people who are her best friends agree unanimously, it must be a fact. Then, it must be that she is with Samajima by chance. If that's the case, she would come. It is possible to do so by taking advantage of her gentleness. Therefore, what do I need to do?
Hero, you're shining brightly.
He's definitely thinking about something bad. That's Daiichi for you.
The next day. We went out at the same time as we did yesterday to collect supplies so that we wouldn't run into Samajima. We had just left the guild.
Thank you for your purchase. Well then, today, I will inquire about that person's accommodations.
I told you earlier, but it's not like I have requested some night play at a shady establishment. The one who expressly came to the entrance for me with this standard business phrase with an extra is Meyer, the guild's receptionist lady from yesterday. When we went to the guild, she sold me information related to Samajima's group. No, originally we asked for something different, but I requested she sell me the information. Though it would take a while to explain the details, it seems Meyer doesn't think of Samajima as a good hero. The reason was, yesterday when we went to the guild, Meyer was the only woman there. Furthermore, I uneventfully talked to her about meeting with the adventurers while concealing that I was a hero. In fact, that reason alone was enough for me to visit her once more, I thought. I thought that I would have to request it, but since she jumped at me with a crying face the moment I stepped into the guild, it became like this. It made it easy for me and saved me the trouble. I mean, I would have tried to surmise if it was possible that she was aware of Samajima's true character, even if just 1% of it, but since it came to that, well, life is beyond our control. Compensation for her request was data on the demons inside the scorching execution ground. The Adventurers Guild always has the latest data. Data is updated every month, and Meyer is in charge of collecting it for this period. Adventurers were attracted by the job description and were paid 5,000 coal for the easy-to-acquire information. Normally, that was okay, because no new floors were visited. However, this month was an exception, because the heroes visited. Samajima plunged into one new floor after another, increasing the amount of information she had to collect. She had also asked the other adventurers, but the unknown floor number was unreasonable. So it was my turn. She thought that I would also be trying to capture the scorching execution ground as an adventurer. That's natural for people that go to the Adventurers Guild to think, since there should be no one who goes there while a low level just to die. Back to the story at hand. I asked her, will you give me any information related to Samajima, because she had nothing to lose. She accepted. The reason was that I could add as much as I liked in postscript. I want to see him soon, and because I'd like to know more about him, I said things like that. Though it wasn't necessary for her to delve deeply into the circumstances of her customers, from the questions it sounded like I was a Samajima fanboy. She never thought that I would be gathering information to kill the hero. More or less, that guy was introduced as the hope for humanity. For me, getting data on demons is a cinch. I promised absolute secrecy and everything worked out fine. As for the change of location, I'd be troubled if someone saw and became suspicious.
Well, then. What do we do now?
Tamaki and I left the guild with some spare time left. We used the same schedule today that we did yesterday, so that we won't be suspected in case we encountered Samajima. I couldn't afford to expose my identity. If Shuri came across him, Samajima wouldn't know. Our date was postponed. Staying alive is more important. Is there something we need to do? Since we bought weapons and other things yesterday, there is no need to today, right? As Tamaki said, we have nearly an hour to do something. Meyer told us the room number so we don't have to go to her for it.
Then, do we return to the inn?
I looked at Tamaki after she said so. It was clear that the tension had lowered. Let's go around town until it's time.
Yeah. Let's go around.
Tamaki came and twined her arm with mine and, without change, began to cuddle close to me as we set out. The envious and jealous stares from those around us were amazing. Looking around this place, I reaffirmed that Tamaki was beautiful. Where do you want to go?
Let me see, the opposite side we went to yesterday. Honestly, I heard this from Shuri, but there are some cute clothes shops nearby.
Then, you want me to buy you clothes?
No, I'll pay. I have the support money from the royal palace left over, so I wouldn't waste what's left of yours, you know. Since we rely on the dungeon for our livelihood.
Tamaki tapped on her chest. That makes me grateful. Though I want to spoil her. No, I'll pay.
But...
It's fine. If it's about money, entering this dungeon will bring in quite a lot of revenue.
Did you hear me? Relying on dungeons for our livelihood is dangerous.
More than anything, I'd like to buy something for you, Tamaki. It's okay to laugh at the worthless pride of a man.
For there to be another surprise attack from Katsurogi.
Tamaki averted her eyes from me. I wonder if I did something wrong?
I see, I understand. But I also want to buy something for you, Katsurogi.
Then, that would make mine pointless.
It's my money to use freely, so no complaining.
Tamaki became serious. She wouldn't be stopped. Though I haven't been with her long, I've come to understand this. All right. Feel free.
That way of speaking is irritating. Well, anyway, you were seriously anxious earlier.
What?
What do you plan to do after your revenge on Samajima?
The abrupt question from her was concerned with the future. Yesterday, I told Tamaki how I felt. I won't give her or Shuri up. They're both working hard. It's fine to think that Lidred can live as she wants. Perhaps, Tamaki is also worried. No, in her case she is just planning ahead, right? At any rate, doubting Tamaki and the other two is no good. Naturally, I've already decided, but this isn't the place. We'll talk at the inn.
Is it bad if others hear?
Yeah. Mostly.
It can't be helped. Well then, let's hurry. We don't have long until the meeting time.
Yeah, please show the way.
I already know where we're going, leave it to me.
If it were the me from a while ago, it would have been unthinkable to waste the time until meeting with Meyer with Tamaki after that sort of conversation.